welcome to today's episode of Between Two Trikes. I'm your host, Preston Frazier, this old trike, and with me today is Shred 80.
We're out here, fellas, out in New York. We're at Preston Frazier's house. We're doing this, baby.
Yes. So we've got some questions, things we'd like to ask Mr. Do you have a first name?
It's Gavin. We go by or Gavin or Shred. We go by Shred
Okay.
sometimes. Yep.
Gavin. All right. So I'm not just going to interview Gavin tonight. I'm going to allow him some back and forth, some questions to volley, if you will. So
I'm scared.
I'll start.
Okay.
And I'll start with some of the lighter ones. Don't be looking.
Hey, I'm not looking.
This is private. So we'll start easy. So I'm sure you've got an answer for this.
Give it to me.
You're always saying, "Let's go." Where are you going,
dude? we're going everywhere, fellas. I mean, it just came from an early age. I'd get pumped up, score a soccer goal. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. All right.
Maybe not
You
the baby,
started
but
it. You started the trend.
I'd happen to say so. Anybody that says it,
there you go.
give me a shout out.
Do you put an apostrophe between the T and the S?
No
and
apostrophe.
Lex?
No
apostrophe.
No apostrophe.
It's not a conjunction.
Run it straight.
There you have it. That was pretty straightforward.
All right, you ready for your first question?
Yeah.
This is a tough one. You did a good job on the trail yesterday, but you're gonna have to answer this honestly. Are you a good rider?
My good rider.
Uh-huh.
My mom always told me I was a good rider, and I believed her when she told me that. But
what happened?
That's a great question too. I do, I think I'm all right. I know there's better riders. There's definitely worse riders.
Mm-hmm.
As
right here,
evidenced by you. But no, I'm all right. I'm an outstanding pusher.
Hey.
There's multiple ways to push a three-wheeler, and I've perfected them all, and I'm not shy about it.
He really has.
But I'm an all right rider.
Okay. I'll give it to you.
Err on the side of being humble, but
he's a good rider. I'll tell you guys right now. He's a pretty damn good rider.
Okay. Oh.
Right. What do we got?
Did you fake the video of your 350X burning on the ice? I mean, it was just...
Dude, that
a little
was
bit too convenient.
That was as real as it can come, man. We got out to the ice. Ice conditions were just perfect. So we're like, all right, we're looking good. We start seeing the carb dropping a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop a guy. That's
Just
not going to stop a guy. So we're about...
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? We're about an hour into ripping, giving her the beans. Everything is looking so good. I'm in third gear, riding the wheelie. Next thing you know, woof,
yeah.
I mean, just hit a spark plug. I don't know what it could have hit, man.
I thought by you hitting it with your helmet, it was going to go out.
I thought it was going to go out too.
But,
I mean, me tipping it over.
Yeah.
Not a lick of water within a square mile, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. all frozen.
All frozen, fellas. All frozen.
Okay.
All right.
I'll buy that.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Why are they so nice? Tell me. That's a simple question. Why are they so nice?
Well, going back to question number one, when you push them everywhere, they don't get that dirty or beat up.
Do you ever get worried about them being too nice? I mean, how does that make you feel?
That's nothing I never worry about.
All right, we're going to keep going on that question. How do you feel about having this many three-wheelers just sitting? I mean, it kind of hurts a guy like me, just to let you know.
It does.
But someone's got to do it.
Yeah. And just the sitting part obviously doesn't do them any favors, as we've discovered as we try to go ride some machines today, and leaky carbs, and then they mysteriously start running for no reason, just because they got a little attention apparently.
Something happens, yep.
But,
so do you feel bad about it though, or how do you feel? Like, what's your perspective on having a bunch of three-wheelers not ridden all the time?
It doesn't bother me at all. I sleep. I sleep very well.
I can't blame you.
Even when the people comment about how bad I should feel for them, and how I'm depriving other people of the ability to ride them or have nice three-wheelers.
Don't feel a thing. He's fine. All right, that was a good question.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that. All right. So this one's, we're gonna shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
So, do you, Gavin,
Yep, Gavin.
Gavin. Do you pay royalties to the C-Boys for making you famous on YouTube?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question right there. Nothing but a huge shout out to the boys. Can't be more thankful for them. And, I don't got too much more else to say about that. Right. Those guys are good shit.
So.
But, holy smokes. That's a good question. That's a very good question right there.
Serious. All serious questions tonight.
All right, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tough one, fellas. I know everybody on the internet is wanting to see this question be asked. When did you sell me the collection?
Well, you're leaving at what time? Around 5, so we better make a deal by at least 4:30 probably.
Stop it, dude. When would you actually be ready to dump off, would you say, 50% of your collection or 25% of your collection? Do you ever see that as a possibility?
Yes. So I've completed the collection, one of every Honda 3-wheeler, year, make, model, color.
He's done it.
I'm restoring a few. Thank you, sir. So I've got my 85 250R owned since 97 here. As soon as this is off my table, the 88 Big Red comes on here and gets completed. And then I will be able to document properly pictures, videos, what it looks like having one of each year, make, model, color. And after that's done, do I really need every 90 or 2 colors, for 1970, 71? Do I need all these 90s and 110s and the non-necessarily sexy models? No.
No.
So I might pare things back, and that might be 25%. But it might hurt a little bit. The first one I sell off that held that space, that means I don't have the collection anymore. Okay. So it might be tough to come off it. But
fair enough. Good answer.
I'll let you know first.
Damn right, you better.
So, as it's might not be obvious to the viewers because I look so young, but Gavin and I are not the same age. And so as someone that's a little bit older than Gavin, I'm wondering, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Ooh, dude, that's a really good question. Yeah. And I'm doing exactly what little Gavin would love him to be doing.
That's awesome.
Making YouTube videos and traveling the world with my buddies.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've not figured out what I want to be when I grow up yet. But.
Really good question, though. Yeah, follow your dreams, anybody. I mean, no matter how old you are, keep chasing it. I'll tell you that. Yeah. You ready for a big one?
I think so.
Okay.
Hit me.
Oh my gosh. All right.
How many do you have?
I got a decent amount. What would it take to make you be a Yamaha guy? Not to make you be a Yamaha guy, to own a couple Yamahas. Is there anything that would change that perspective, or are you Honda tried and true?
Okay. The reason I don't own any Hondas.
Yamahas.
It hurts to even say it. It's like I get auto-corrected in my head.
Even say the word.
My head auto-corrects it.
Same thing as iPhone. No iPhone. Yep. Android only.
That's right. The reason I don't own any Yamahas is the piggy bank is not bottomless. The garage is not infinite.
Okay.
So space and money are an issue. So what would it take if I had some more money and more space?
So you'd be a Yamaha guy with those two?
I think so.
Really? You would? Okay.
I'm not anti-Yamaha. I'm just very pro-Honda with limited resources. So.
All right. One more big question. I got to know personally. I got a couple more, of course. But how big do you think a stock 3-wheeler can be jumped? Knowing a 350X, knowing the stock capabilities, what would you say? I want your honest answer.
Are we talking 350X or any?
350X.
350X. Well, so we've probably all seen the videos of Tanner Pies and Jason Hall.
Coming over that triple?
Coming off the tabletop at Unadilla, just launching it out into the atmosphere. And that's just insane. So they're both on a 250R, and I think...
There's no way they're riding stock suspension though, right?
I think Tanner was. Now, Jason Hall, they do inverts. I believe he might have had inverts, but I think Tanner Pies was all stock. So I've seen that jump in person. Not their jumps, but I've seen the tabletop in person, and it's massive.
How big are we talking? Are we talking
just to clear it is got to be all of 40 feet, just the flat, the tabletop, and they jump down the far side. So of course I'll overlay those jumps on top of this. So that's 250 off. So those can accelerate quicker. I don't think you can hit those heights and those distances on a 350X.
I bet.
That'd be an interesting bet. Yes. I have a feeling there might be one guy that can. The question is, what is your frame and body and everything else going to look like when you clear that? But
damn good question right there.
So.
Man, that's a good one.
So.
Come on, throw me some. I know you got some. I know you got more for me.
Where do you see you taking your current collection in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
Oh man, after the motivation you've given me, I want to stay rider quality, but definitely up my ante and how nice the plastics are. Make everything a little bit shinier and stuff. But that's a hard question. Definitely want one of every model. I don't need every color. I don't need every year, but one of every model.
Yeah. And
just have it dialed. I want to something close to this. That's the goal, of course.
That's cool.
How do you feel about the 3-wheeler backflip? What do you got for me suggestion-wise? Any big tips? I mean, you've been riding a lot longer than me. You know the physics a little bit better.
So we've seen the 3-wheeler backflip in the Nitro Circus.
Yeah, Trevor Piranha.
So you got to have that ramp. The ramp, I think, is the factor that gets you the geometry to get it done.
Get around.
And then that's a squishy ramp, I know, for lack of a better term. What was the question?
How do I backflip? Any suggestions, man? I want to know any tips you got, and what do you think about me doing a backflip?
I think there's lots of people that would love to see you attempt a backflip and see it completed. But just the attempt is what they want to see.
Damn right.
And they'll cheer extra hard if you hit it. I think you got to man, you can't do it on dirt. Because
you don't think so?
The cost is very high. No, you can do it on dirt. You can do whatever you want. This is America. But, the learning curve, I would hate to do that on dirt. So
100%.
Don't hurt yourself.
We're going to see what's up. It's coming this year, fellas. Anybody who's asking, we're going to toss it. Oh my gosh, man. What's your feeling about seeing younger guys like me still riding 3-wheelers? Like, how's it make you feel?
So I'm like in the middle generation of that.
You are.
Because there's like the generation of before me.
The guys that are still getting it.
So they call me the young guy because, I remember walking in the dealership and buying them off the dealership floor. Well, I was watching cartoons back then. But, for me, in between, to see the next generation, it's always good because that's what's keeping it alive, keeping it going. The hobby exciting, especially, on the YouTube side and just all the social media platforms that you're putting content out. Because you are causing the next generation to see it and love it and want to see it again and embrace it. Yep. So now I look at like my nephew, who's like one of Gavin's biggest fans. I'm chopped liver, but Gavin comes to town and it's just couldn't believe it, signing autographs and everything. But it's awesome. It's all awesome and it makes everybody else better because of it. So.
Heck yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a good answer. So were you ever scared that 3-wheelers are gonna die off? I mean, was there any point like when you first saw, or was that never like a thought for you, kind of?
No, I mean my story's different because I went through like a dry spell, a hiatus. I was
you weren't
busy
in it all the way, huh? Yeah.
I mean, very much so. When I was a kid, went to college, and that's when the shift started. And then I got focused on my career and my family, and it wasn't until the kids got a little older and we had a little more disposable income that I got the 400EX out of the shed, and I got the 250R out of the shed, and the fire started to get reignited, and I had my trike renaissance, and I'm glad it happened when it did, because that was right before the curve, or as the curve started to come up, and Facebook groups started putting the pictures of machines and stuff back in front of everybody, and everybody started to remember and the great reawakening started. So, but.
So where's all your motivation come to keep on doing these builds and stuff? I mean, don't you ever get tired, or what's that like?
I get tired.
But you don't stop. I mean, your builds keep on going.
You can't stop. If you stop, you get old, and I don't. That's inevitable. But I want to keep moving. And,
So what's your motivation for three-wheelers right now? Where does that come from?
I set a goal, and I think I want to keep my word to myself, or stay true to what I set out to do, and I went through a time in my life, I guess, where I wasn't finishing things. And I just want to be the guy that finishes
Makes
things.
It happen.
So, so I just keep moving.
Heck yeah.
And it's exciting, and doing it in front of the camera helps me hold myself accountable. Because then you guys will comment, what's going on with the 85 250R. It's only taking you 3 years to restore it. What's the problem?
What's the problem?
So I think that's a big thing for it. So,
heck yeah.
Just wanting to see it done, so I can declare victory.
Yep. Huh.
But
what about suggestions for first time Trike Fest goers? What are the essentials? How do we party there?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So I've been going to Trike Fest since 2018, and I knew after the first one that I'd be back and wouldn't miss one. So what I learned the first year is that you're gonna have fun any way you show up. If you forget something, there's 4 to 20 guys that have what you need. So don't worry. Just go, get there, pitch a tent if you need to, camp in your trailer if you need to. Just be prepared to have fun. But what helps is having coolers that stay cool a long time, freezing water bottles before you go, and then that helps keep your stuff cool. Bring spares of tools and spark plugs and all that sort of stuff. I don't know.
Just be ready for fun.
That's a bunch of random tips. All right, freeze my water bottles, bring tools. Got it, I'm ready. But yeah, be prepared to have fun. You're going to make friends. You're going to meet people that you see on the internet or you've talked to, and it's just going to deepen that relationship that much more.
And we're going to be there. Come hang out.
That's right. So how do you feel, all right, serious question. How do you feel, he's a little sketchy, but how do you feel about the Swamp Outlaw guy?
Woo! You guys got to go give my boy Noah a follow right now. SwampOutlaw.com should be hopefully dropped by this video. Noah's the man. I mean, we met on Facebook about 6 months ago. He started DMing me saying, hey, I got these lift kits. Come meet me in Florida. What the hell's this guy talking about? Ended up flying down there, building a three-wheeler with this guy, and he's unbeatable. So any parts you need, go hit Noah up. That's what I got to say about that guy.
Yeah. But don't you feel that what he's doing to the trike market is ruining... he's taking good machines and just turning them into things that get sunk in mud holes.
He's only doing that in your eyes, man. He's making them perfect in mine. I mean, these things are becoming unstoppable. For you guys that don't know, he's putting 6-inch lifts, 4-inch lifts. He even has a 2-inch lift, making these things pretty much unstoppable. We've tested them too.
We'll have to see. Further testing required. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, but.
What are your thoughts about the lift kit? How do you feel about hitting the mud? I know you're not much of a mud guy.
So for me, a trike purist, Mr. OEM.
Purist. We should just call him Pusher Preston.
As we sit between two trikes that are modified one way and modified a completely other way, I think you gotta in your mind come to terms with this trike this is its purpose now. So. And I'm okay with that.
How do you feel about that? Yes,
I'm going to sleep just fine. How do I feel about watching a beloved three-wheeler be flipped upside down into a pond of unknown depth and
5 minutes after a build?
Yeah, 5 minutes after it's come together. It was funny. It was great. I can't wait to do it myself.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
But I don't know that I've got any more questions.
Oh, man.
Unless you've got some.
Dude, I mean, not really. Just wait, one last one. How the hell did you do it? I know you've told me, but how the hell did you do it?
The secret. If you're a married man, you have to have an awesome wife.
thought he was going to say get a divorce.
No. No, I don't recommend that. Awesome wife, understanding wife. You got to have the fire. You got to have a reason for doing it. You know, don't go into debt to do it, but there's a way to do it smartly, and there's a way to just pay through the nose for it. But I don't know that there's a way to do it economically anymore.
Yep.
Like, I think the timing, I did it probably as late as you could have done it and done it on the cheap. But yeah, everything's
knock on doors. Just go knock on
doors. Become the guy that everybody knows is the three-wheeler guy, and they find you in a lot of ways. So
darn right.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
So thanks for joining us, Gavin. Right?
Gavin.
Shred 80. Check out Shred 80 on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We mentioned our buddy Noah Olson, Swamp Outlaw. Be sure to check him out. And thank you very much. Thank you, C-Boys, for making Gavin so popular and special that my nephew doesn't even know who I am.
Love you, fellas.
We'll catch you next time.